I want to talk about mechanics, but first I think I'm gonna just talk about like I have like a rough script here. So first off, I want to go over the blue RC mechanic, and I just want to talk about why I think this is a really strong mechanic. So this game did a lot to the RC system, and like there's still the classics, right? RRC, PRC, right? And there's even now the YRC, which is the blocking RC. But they replaced YRC's function and exert with what are called the blue RCs. And so when you do a blue RC, it does this, and it also applies like a slow motion effect to your opponent whenever that clock is on them, right? And so you can see the field of effectiveness, right? And so as long as you hit them with that, they'll get slowed down. And this is really important, actually. Right? There's some other things about BRC, and I really suggest that if you haven't already, that you should bind a dash button in this game. Because while you can do these with like inputs, it's a lot easier to just do them raw, right? Because like that versus accidentally getting your double jump eaten, right? With the upward one, right? And then there's also like a downward dash one, which is a lot easier with the dash button than it is hit 2-2. Of course, that's pretty much personal preference. And there's back dash and forward dash, which are both very important. I think these are generally the more important ones. And so you've probably seen a few mix-ups that take use of BRC. But first I want to go over like their usage in neutral. If any of you have been doing a lot of net play so far, you've probably seen this, right? Someone has done this to you at some point in time. And it's pretty strong and hard to counter, honestly. And like you can tech the throw, right? You try and backdash or jump the throw, but in general the slowdown makes it hard, right? Like you need to do it early, right? Well, here's the thing, is that I'm gonna record actually. Oops, what do I have record on? I have record on that button. Okay, so I'm going to record Kai doing this, right? And I'm gonna tech it. Okay, ready? So it's pretty hard to tech, right? But I can tech it. But now, what I'm gonna do, right? So you can tech it, right? But oops, sorry. I'm just figuring out how to change slots here. Ah, there we go. If we hit record, we can change the slot. Okay. Ooh, hitting the wrong button there. Okay. There we go. And so now I'm going to do this shit. Okay, there we go. We have that recorded. So now you replay and it works, right? And so now let's go to like here, and we'll set it to slot 2, right? And so on slot 2, what I'm going to do is, well, I'm gonna talk about this first. So that slowdown is really important because it gives you more hit stun, right? So normally this doesn't gatling, right? And so this isn't a gatling, but it does let you link it, right? Which lets you get the corner combo, right? So if I'm in the corner, I can do. Right, which is pretty important. You can also use it for some other stuff, right? You can do, ooh, she might actually not have a way to do this. But like you can do this and then link 5k out of it, which is pretty strong. Right? So, 5D. 5k, 6h. So you get new options. I mean, I guess you do that, right? That blue beated, I did a little slow. You need to make sure not to get like hold at all, and to just get the tap, right? Right? So there you go. So yeah, you do this out of it, right? Or you could do like, I guess. Actually, could you? But yeah, so to go more into this, so I've recorded the 1, right? And now we're going to record slot 2, which I'm going to do. Right, that didn't combo, I didn't actually do the right high combo there, so I'm going to just do it one more time. Right, I still did not do the Kai combo. I'm not a Kai player. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on ahead and set this to random. Right? Boom. Okay, so now we're going to play it back and we're going to tech throw, right? So you can throw him out of the low, right? But if you were to space it out of your throw range, he would be able to bait that, right? But like, he could also just do like BRC backdash to bait throw, right? Like you could do a number of things. Can I show jump FDOS? Yeah, sure, I'll show fuzzy jumping. So I'm just gonna record a new string then. Where's record? Oh, there we go. Okay, just gonna record this over slot 3. We'll do it over slot 1 because I don't want anything on the other slots. Okay, so I'm going to do that, right? Common tick throw. So now I'm just gonna play it back. Oops. Right, so we get a jump there. I did it the 3rd time. Sorry, it was a weird string to do it with. But like, I'm gonna also record on the next slot, and I'm gonna record that, right? So we go to random, right? Boom, we block it, right? So that wasn't a tight enough string to really show it off, but if it had been like a chain, it wouldn't matter, right? You get the idea though, I think. I hope, I should say. Right, okay, let's do it again. Oops, that won't work. Right. And like, it's not as applicable in this game just because strings aren't as fast, right? But like, it can be important. It's really good against a character like Pot or something, right? Really good against command grabs too, right? Really good against Soul. Soul's actually probably the prime target of this, right? So basically it just makes it so that like, this will proc proxy guard, right? So you want to do it once you hit the air, right? Fuzzy jumps in a lot of games. Oops. Okay, 5K, okay, so here's the other mix-up that you're going to see a lot of people doing, is you're going to see this, right? And with RAM, it's pretty easy to set up, because I can just go in here. Also, I'm going to set them to block all. So, you know that I can confirm off of the overhead here, right, or this, because I've shown off the BRC hit stun already. But, like, right, like, I can do that, right? But, like, you're going to get, like, a lot of people mash jab. Like, Ran can reinforce this, right? And so the sword explosion reinforces it. But not every character can do that, right? But I'm gonna show off, and this is universal. You can do this anytime that they block. You can do this, right, with any character. And if they try and like mash on you, mash 5p, right, which is what they're gonna do, that'll clip them, right? Like they'll whiff the jab, and then you'll counter hit them with that, and then you get like a counter hit confirm. So it's not like true mix for like most characters, and you have to make them respect it. But like, you can do it, right? And the way that you do that is by like retaining your air dash, right? And this is why, once again, I really suggest using like an air dash button. Fuck. There we go. You don't want the air dash sigil to come out. If you do that, you fucked up, right? This is kind of tight, but like there we go. It does work, and you want to do that. And then of course you also have like fuzzies, right? Right. And that'll confirm because the BRC delay on a hit. There you go. So that's the fuzzy guard. There's a couple other setups you can do, right? You can do that. I think this only works on tall characters. But I'm gonna show off some other ways to reinforce this mix. There's a couple other characters who it might be a little less obvious that this is like a strong thing to do with them, but there's one in particular who can really take advantage of it, right? Amelia. And the reason why Amelia takes advantage of it is because unlike other characters with her, it's pretty simple, right? So I'm gonna change the guard settings here. Opponent settings, block type. We're gonna do all guard with block switching disabled, right? So then I can hit Kylo basically, right? So we're gonna do right that, right? Boom! Look at that, and now I'm gonna do opponent settings, and we'll send him to crouch, and then we can show off. We'll do it like this, I guess. Ta-da! You get confirms. So it's really applicable, and it's really important to use the blue RC. And I keep seeing people go for the RRC mix with Amelia, right? But that's really reliant on like a lot of like different factors. Whereas this is like right, you do this, and like you do blue RC overhead, boom, free every time, right? So like you set ring, blue RC, right? Sorry. I don't play Amelia, so I don't really have the setups down, but like it makes it a lot easier, right? Because like you generally want to go for like this mix if you can with the ring coverage off of an RRC, right? So you do like, oops. Right, so you get that kind of mix, but you know. You can do this, right? Boom, that's dirty. Right? You're just going raw, like, guess the mix, right? So it's pretty fucked up. That's one thing. Now the next thing I want to go over, and I'll have to record for this. So I want to talk about YRC and just using YRC in general. So with YRC, you can definitely do some good stuff, right? Right. So let's say you're having trouble with pressure, right? Boom. It's your turn, right? You just get plus frames, but like it's a really strong tool, but it's really important to like be careful with it, okay? So the reason why I'm gonna say this is because I'm gonna record now. Oops, record. Okay. Right. And boom, he just baited you. And you're in counter hit state during that. So any move that is like here, I'll record it again, but like so he can jump cancel this, right? So you can do, right? Boom. Okay, there we go. Boom, he just punished you, right? Kai can do a falling JH from there, right? Or he can like BRC at you, right? BRC, like do BRC JH, like that, right? He gets a punish. And this is especially important because you can actually do, right? And so I'm gonna play that back. So like I can hit the jab, but let's say bap bap. Oops, I did not do that right. So boom, he gets a counter hit punish there. Oops. So let's say you fuck up. Boom. Okay. I gotta record that again. Fuck. Okay, that should work. It's hard to do with recording. Oops. So let's say, yeah, you get a counter hit, right? That's not what you want, right? And so you can get huge damage, and people have been showing off these punishes on Twitter like a lot, right? So in general, it's really dangerous to end up in this position. So like using YRC is really quite important and using it effectively. Now here's the thing, is that I showed off CS where you can jump, right? So as a character like Amelia, right, you have this fantastic 5k, right? And it's jump cancelable, and also you can block after, right? You can also outrange it, right? And so like that's the other thing, is that if like I were to record this, right? So we're gonna play that back. Boom. See, it can hit, but let's say I was like back a little bit more, right? Right. I don't think Kai can do it. I do know Nagaryuki can do it. If you're at the peak length of certain normals on certain characters, they can avoid your PRC, right? And so you really want to look out for that, because if you get your YRC baited and it whiffs, you're also in the counter hit state, right? So that's pretty important. In general, I think strong characters in this game are going to be determined by their ability to stagger a jump cancelable move, usually their 5k, right? And I think Amelia is going to be fantastic in the long run because of this, right? You can do this, right? Or you can do bop 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 bop. You can't do like the reverse speed anymore. Right, but you do get stuff like that. You get this, and you can jump cancel at any time. So you can just watch their meter and then up back, right? So I'm gonna record. Oops. Right. Boom. So that's kind of dangerous, right? But like all the same, if you just do this every once in a while and they coincidentally like do it at a bad time, let's say that you do that, right? You might get a full punish, right? Right. I didn't get it. I don't play Amelia. I don't know what you do. Maybe you do turbo fall. Turbo fall blue RC? No. That can't be it. But just in general, you can get baited, right? And so you don't want to get baited. Right, so being able to bait RC, which is really easy with jabs too, is going to be a really big part of this game. So you're going to want to do a lot of jab nothing, right? Jab nothing or jab throw. Especially since like they can just do it on these, right? I showed off that like I can just burst on the YRC his far slash, right? And that's really dangerous. So anyways, that's with like YRC defensively and offensively. Try and YRC on moves that are slow, right? Now I'm gonna go over